I'm a little late to the punch on this one. Malaki Branham. I liked this for a reason because I was going to go back and watch it with you guys because some people were criticizing this. They were like, wow, Malaki Branham giving any type of advice to anyone, that's laughable. And I just wanted to talk about Malaki a little bit and take a look at this video and see what he had to say. Apparently, he's talking about Wemby. Now, with that being said, you guys just hang in tight because I do want to tell you about the giveaway once again. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the giveaway once again. I saw some people that left and some other people that came in, so I definitely want to get to that. So at the end of this, after we talk about Malaki, stay tuned. We're going to talk about the giveaway again, okay? So I can reiterate what you got to do. All right, Malaki.
Well, from my vantage point, it seems like Victor's being more assertive. I don't know if it comes across for you guys on the court. Yeah. So is that accurate?
I'll be telling them, be more assertive. You know, especially when it gets to the paint. You know, just assert yourself more. You know, like when he tried to dunk on him, like that. Yeah, just stuff like that. Like him being more aggressive, being more assertive. You know, that's what we want. So, you know, I'll be in his ear. I know the coaches and the teammates be in his ear too.
All right, so let me just, there's more to this. Like this is only halfway through, but I do want to say this. Yeah, so with Wemby I think Wemby, one big adjustment he had to make from France to the NBA is if you guys watched him in that in the French playoffs when he was going through from round to round, which he was really impressive by the way. He did a lot of double teams on him. So he did a lot of facilitating for his teammates. Like that's what he did. He utilized his gravity, helped his teammates, and got easy baskets for them. And they played more of just like a system ball. Defensively, he was still elite. Even offensively, he has some showings where it's like, oh my goodness, what the heck? Some of the things he's capable of. But overall, he did take more of a backseat approach. So I think when he came to the Spurs, it was it was that as well, that he needed to be a little bit more assertive. He got comfortable with playing like system ball, which is still play some system ball, but I think right now like he is just leagues above what other people's potentials are. So it's really nice that we have guys like Malaki and the coaches and probably all of his teammates just tell him, dude, go for it. That no one necessarily sitting back afraid of him taking the spotlight or anything that they want him to. And it definitely speaks volumes to Wembanyama's personality as well, because he does seem like a really good kid. And honestly, he seems like a very humble kid. Okay, maybe I won't go as far as say good. We don't know him personally, but he seems like a very humble kid from what we've seen. I mean, even to the point where Don Barlow was taken aback because he said, yeah, this generational talent was asking me questions about my game and things that he can improve. And he was like, I'm undrafted. You're the first overall pick and you're asking me these questions. So yeah, it really shows his humility there.
On his end, do you sense it's one of those he kind of has to be told or reminded because he is so young, he's so new? Like I guess the reasons behind why automatically maybe it's not there.
Not really, because at the same time he's gonna do what he do. But him, us just reminding him, just be more aggressive, roll and get to the rim and post somebody up, just stuff like that. We gotta remind him just a little bit, but he's gonna be good.
Yeah, and I think my assessment of it, I could be completely wrong, but just based on what I've seen from Wemby, I feel like it really does come down to he knows what the San Antonio Spurs represent, okay? But he is a team player. Like, he's not going to sit here and just necessarily take over the game offensively if the best possible way to win is for him to get his teammates involved and everything like that. So, and he's still trying to figure things out. I feel like Zach Collins in the starting lineup has not been exactly what we wanted, because he was supposed to be a guy that can kind of stretch the floor for Wemby and really give him that type of space to put in work. But unfortunately, when Zach Collins' shot isn't going, where is he going? He's in the paint. He's trying to make things happen there. He's not necessarily pulling out his center. And even when he goes out, the center doesn't really bite. They're like, hey, you're probably going to, you might not make this one. So I think it's been tough on Wemby in that regard as well, as far as that aggressiveness. So he kind of thinks, hey, let me get to the open spot. Let me, this is the best way for us to be successful. So I think that's where a lot of the aggression comes from. It has nothing to do with Wemby not being aggressive. Wemby's a monster. Okay, he is absolutely nasty. He wants to win. It just comes down to whatever he wants or whatever he think is the best possible way for his team to be successful. But now I think he's getting pushed to the point where it's like, no, me dominating is probably the best way for this team to win right now. And he's been playing like it. Last 5 games, 20 plus points. Pretty wonderful. So with that being said, I do want to talk about you, Mr. Malaki Branham. He shook his head. He said, yeah, let's talk. So Malaki, there's been so many people, not necessarily dogpiling on Malaki, because I didn't really see that, but there's been quite a few people just saying that they're not really bought into Malaki. They don't think he's going to be that good. Oh my goodness, his defense is terrible. And I just want to say this. Defensively, Malaki Branham will, and I was talking to someone on Twitter about this because someone mentioned like, oh, if he can become a lockdown defender, he will never be a lockdown defender. Okay, Malaki will never be a lockdown defender. He'll probably never be a great defender. Okay, a lot of times when guys are great defenders or really good defenders, they were kind of really good defenders from day one. The only thing you can really ask for Malaki right now is for him to not eventually be like a liability, right? That's like the main thing. Just be serviceable defensively. But I'm not expecting Malaki to come in here and put up, 5 steals and lock down. No. He's going to always be more than likely an average defender. And that's the thing. He doesn't have to be a lockdown defender. Not every player on the Spurs have to be a lockdown defender, have to be a phenomenal defender. Not everyone has to be. It's not the reality of it. But one thing that he can do, or a few things that he can do, he can light you up. Any given night, he can light you up. Right now, you haven't been able to see it. I don't think that he's been the best version of himself, but I think it's also because the Spurs have resorted him to being more of a catch and shooter, just because of how the team is structured right now. Devin Vassell taking over a big part of the load as far as scoring. I think that's kind of where that's come from. So he's been more resorted to a catch and shooter. But if he can come into the role that he was in college, for majority of college, dude, he is going to be so nasty. He is going to be so nasty because he can facilitate for his teammates. He's the best, in my opinion. You can say that I'm wrong, and if you bring up a name, I'll say, okay, you got me there. But in his draft, the one thing that came up for me, I was like, I think this guy, Malaki Branham, is the best pick and roll guard in that draft, like by far, in my opinion. But he can facilitate for his teammates. He can create his own shot. He doesn't need much room. What's open to him wouldn't be open for another guy. And once he gets going, he's absolutely nasty. The only thing that he struggles with, and some people bring up the Lonnie Walker effect. I like to think of it more like Derek White, because he has so much potential, but sometimes he does get in his own head, and you can see it where, he is upset or he is getting down on himself. He putting his head down. And I think that he can really be hard on himself. And I think Popovich has really handled him in a really, in a smart way. I'm saying really a lot. He's handled him in a smart way, where he doesn't necessarily need a bunch of yelling at or really getting on to him. Like, not necessarily. He needs a little bit more. I know this is going to sound weak, but a little bit more care. Okay. But with that being said, Malaki Branham, when you spark something underneath them, like you say one thing to, and I'm probably just going to learn this because we've already seen it not only in the summer league, but we've also seen it in college. He's talked about this himself as far as his trainer, back in the day. When you say certain things to him, or he gets tested, or he gets pushed to a degree, he can just light you up. He turns like Super Saiyan. He's like ridiculous. So I think as time goes on, Spurs fans are going to be able to see that a little bit more. It's just that right now, the role that he has, and it makes sense for him to have it, he's just not necessarily in that role yet. But as it goes on, he'll be another guy that's going to facilitate the offense along with, in the future, along with Jeremy Sohan. And hopefully we can get a, actual point guard in there as well. So it'll be okay. It'll be all right. I just think that he's really getting a lot of hate. Maybe, it's kind of unwarranted. I don't think it's that serious. But yeah, those are my thoughts about Malaki. I think that he's going to be absolutely nasty. His potential is out the roof. And I think right now, if people are just now getting familiar with his game, I could understand why people don't necessarily buy into him. But he is a really good player. Really good player. I really wanted Lonnie to shine with us. I did too. Everyone did, but it is what it is. All right, with that being said, guys, listen, okay? Listen. Mojo Fantasy. So I want to tell you about a giveaway, all right? We will be giving away $200 worth of San Antonio Spurs tickets. This is to any game, okay? So any game that you want to go to, $200 value, you will get that. All you have to do is, well, you'll be entered to get that. All you have to do is go to the link in my bio, in my description, go to Mojo Fantasy, download the app, sign up, and then send me a message, a direct message. You can send it, you can send it so many different ways. You can send it Instagram and you can DM me. You can send it on Twitter and you can DM me, or you can even send me an email at clanthespursfan@gmail.com. Send me an email and say, hey, I just signed up. Just show me that you signed up. That's all you got to do. But that's it. Sign up to Mojo Fantasy. Check it out. Send me a message. And we'll get it popping, okay? It's a great app. It's a great sports book. It's kind of insane the way that they did it, but I really do appreciate the. Gosh, I just got stuck about that. That sucked. I really do appreciate them reaching out and being able to work with the channel. If you guys support Mojo, you support me. So please, please, please sign up to Mojo Fantasy. Means the world to moi. So, and it should mean the world to you. But yeah, get yourself a chance to win some tickets. So there's that. For sale. DB says for sale. Yes, for sale. I agree. I don't even know what we're talking about. Besides Wimby, there we go. Who's the best one-on-one player on our team? Oh yeah, for sale easily. I would say probably for sale, and then Sohan. One-on-one, maybe. Probably Sohan. Chetty Osman is a good one-on-one. He's okay. He's all right. I was thinking Malaki. Oh, yeah. What the heck am I thinking? We just did a segment on Malaki. I'm seriously. Yeah, probably Malaki. Maybe. Yeah, probably Malaki. Not mad at that. Malaki can create his own shot. Malaki is really good off the pick and roll. He's really good off of screens, though. Yeah, that's the thing. He's really good off of screens.